Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever you are, guys. Piotr here. It's my pleasure to be with you. Europe is going to the close, 20th of January 2020. Europe is about to close. We do have Martin Luther King bank holiday in US. We are awaiting Bank of Japan rate decision during the next Tokyo session. So, because Europe is going to the bed, I think it's gonna be worth and smart because of the US break to have a look, to check, as we haven't seen European indices for a while. So let's go through the European indices here today. Let's start with the DAX. That's the weekly chart we have here. What is important, of course, is the levels we are revisiting right here, right now, based on what we had last week, based on what we have today. So either we are going to see full break to the upside, or there is an attempt to try to trade some over under. So in that case, we are going to switch to the lower time frame, and we are going to discuss the possible bearish scenario. But we are going to discuss as well, if you are still bullish, we are going to discuss the possibilities of the upside move. We are going to be covered. We are going to cover both sides, bulls and bears. So that's why we have those two blue lines, because that represents the weekly. Let's place the third one at the top, right? So I think we have some kind of the possible supply around this level. So hold the level here might be treated as some kind of the supply. The only question we have to ask ourselves, right? Because I've been trying to trade from the intraday perspective short side. Also, I had my private exposure to the short side. I've been hurt on that. The question is if there are going to be more manipulation to the upside. Looks like everything is fine. No one can complain. So the thing is that there is a possibility we are going to see the full blown to the upside, and it might work that way. Anyway, to the downside, when we are discussing this weekly chart, to the downside, I think that in case of some kind of the turnaround, right, we've seen some lower shadows. So that's where the DAX previously found some kind of the support. We are talking about the levels close to 13,000, 12,950. All right, but I think in case of the lower levels, if the market will reject current levels, I think that latest weakness we've seen here untested, right? Why untested? Let me show you why I'm thinking it's untested. Because once we broke through that level, all right, we never looked back, and there was a strong rise here to the upside, and we found the support around 13,000, 12,090, 950. In case of the breakdown, we have another 500 to the downside, and we are talking about the 12,500, 12,450. So that's where I would start to think of the buying in case of the deeper move to the downside, right? That's the first thing of the pullback. In case of the breakout, then retest and continuation to the upside. So the upside is quite easy, right? Based on this weekly chart. The downside, that could be the challenge, and again, it would be smart to ask ourselves: is it worth to try to sell the indices right here, right now? Again, from my trading perspective, wasn't that bad. From my positioning perspective, I've been hurt and been hurt well been heard well. Anyway, let's switch to the, before we switch, let's place another, in that case, to the latest weakness, all right? And let's switch to the daily chart. Let's have a look what we have here. So, in that case, there is, you know, the buyers, they are buying and crying, right? So meaning that the move to the upside is very, very slow, is limited for now by this line. So it's gonna be very interesting by tomorrow or Wednesday to see where we are, and maybe Thursday during the European Central Bank, if we can, based on the line, right, we've seen second ago, if we are going to see this type of the setup, right? So one more time, and at the top some upper shadow close below. That could be the ECB setup. So Thursday, for example, right? And then a little bit stronger sell-off, right? Just to be perfectly clear that these lows are gonna to be taken out, and 12,500, 12,450 after the stop count could be in place. Well, that's the eventually the bearish setup in case of the DAX. But again, in that case, would be smart, in my opinion, to try to wait and see what's going to happen towards the ECB day on Thursday. All right, so hopefully that's the useful thing for you. Let's have a look what we have in Spain. Well, not many differences when it comes to compare to the DAX. All right, the thing is, the DAX is testing the high, and the Spanish index is right here, right now, in a consolidation phase. So from the weekly chart perspective, it's very important how we are going to behave this week, because the previous week low, that could be the key short term here, and then again what we've seen towards the end of the previous year, that lower shadow. So but I think the previous week low is a key here. Okay, so in that case let's make it a little bit different. Okay, it's a weekly, so blue line. Okay, it's very important because of what we've seen previously at that level, right? Okay, so the price was reacting. We are talking about the levels close to 9,500. So now looks like bulls are trying to take over. All right, so there was an attempt to move lower, 9,500, 9,450. The zone holds, all right, and we're trying to eventually go higher. In case market will try to go higher from here, we might retest another level where previously we've seen the market reaction, right? So in that case, we are talking about the levels close to 9,900. Okay, in that case. But if you watched me in action a few times, then you know that if we agree that that was some kind of the consolidation. So overall looks like 1,000 points of consolidation. So in that case, we might see levels close to 10,400, right? If we want to double that consolidation, right? So if that was the consolidation and we are going to double, we might see 10,400, 10,500. So in that case, right, it could be another level higher where we previously seen some market reaction into that level, as you can see here, right? So it's a clear when it comes to the upside, either 9,900, 10,000 or 10,400, 10,500 based on the doubling the consolidation phase, all right? So now let's turn into the possible bearish view. So if we are going to see the failure, and the failure is going to be only with the daily close below previous week low, all right? So in that case, if we are going to get that close below previous week low, again, that's very important. So we might react at the lower shadows, right? So we might react here, but then retest of 9,450, 9,500 might be rejected, and we might revisit, because of the failure at the upside, we might revisit at the bottom of that consolidation around 8,500, 8,450. So hopefully those two, DAX and IBEX, hopefully the analysis is gonna be very useful for you. Don't be trapped, guys. Be careful, all right? And see you around. Take care and goodbye, guys. Thank you very much.